Secret carried a weight on her shoulders. Her grandchildren, each troubled in their own way, were her responsibility. The eldest, a boy named Marcus, was prone to angry outbursts. His sister, Lily, retreated into a world of silence, her eyes reflecting a pain Secret understood too well. Little Thomas, the youngest, craved constant attention, a balm for the neglect he felt. Secret loved them fiercely, these children entrusted to her care. But their pain was a mirror, reflecting her own. She saw in Marcus the rage she'd suppressed for years. Lily's silence echoed the voicelessness of her own youth, and Thomas's neediness tugged at her heart, reminding her of her own longing for love and acceptance. Each day was a battle against their demons and her own. The constant need, the emotional turmoil, it wore her down. Secret was strong, but even the strongest oak can be bent and broken by relentless storms. She yearned for a moment of peace, a sanctuary where the echoes of their pain wouldn't reach her. But where could she go? Who could understand the burden she carried? Secret's past haunted her like a recurring nightmare. The memories, vivid and sharp, threatened to consume her. She'd known hardship, betrayal and loss. The world had taught her to be strong, to wear a mask of indifference. But beneath the surface, the pain lingered. PTSD, the doctor had called it. A wound on her soul that never truly healed. Loud noises, sudden movements, even the innocent laughter of children could trigger a wave of panic, leaving her gasping for air, her heart pounding a frantic rhythm against her ribs. She'd tried to bury the past, to outrun the memories, but they clung to her like shadows, a constant reminder of her vulnerability. Her grandchildren's troubles stirred those dark waters, awakening the fear and helplessness she'd fought so hard to suppress. Secret felt herself slipping, pulled down by the undertow of her past. She needed to escape, to find a place of healing, for their sake and her own. The air crackled with tension. Marcus, his face contorted in anger, slammed his fist against the wall. Lily cowered behind Secret, her small body trembling. Thomas, oblivious to the storm brewing around him, continued to tug at her skirt, demanding attention. Enough! Secret's voice, hoarse from years of unspoken pain, echoed through the room. Marcus's anger shattered, replaced by a flicker of fear. He'd seen that look in his grandmother's eyes before. It was the look of a wounded animal, backed into a corner, ready to fight. Secret turned away, her heart pounding in her chest. The weight of their pain, the suffocating pressure of their needs, it was all too much. In that moment, something inside her snapped. She couldn't do it anymore. She couldn't be their savior, their protector, their everything. She had nothing left to give. Later that evening, Secret found herself at the monthly meeting of the town's elite social club. These women, with their perfectly coiffed hair and their air of bored superiority, had always intimidated her. They were the keepers of tradition, the guardians of propriety. Secret had never felt like she belonged in their world. She was a woman of the people, her hands roughened by work, her spirit forged in the fires of adversity. Yet she attended these gatherings out of a sense of duty, a need to maintain appearances. Tonight, however, the usual whispers and veiled judgments washed over her. Their words seemed distant, unimportant. Secret's mind was elsewhere, consumed by the turmoil within her own home and the growing desire for escape. She watched them, these women who seemed to have it all together, and she wondered if any of them had ever felt so lost, so utterly alone. Did they, behind their carefully constructed facades, also harbour secret yearnings for freedom? Driving home that night, the weight of the day pressing down on her, Secret noticed a billboard she'd passed 1,000 times before, but never truly seen. It depicted a majestic mountain range, its peaks shrouded in mist, bathed in the warm glow of the setting sun. "Find yourself in the heart of nature," the tagline read. The words struck a chord within Secret's soul. An image flashed in her mind, a small cabin nestled in the woods, a place of solitude and peace, a place where she could breathe again, where the only demands on her time and energy would be her own. A glimmer of hope, fragile yet persistent, flickered within her. Could this be the answer she'd been searching for? Could she, after all these years, finally choose herself? The decision to leave wasn't made overnight. It was a slow burn, a gradual awakening. Secret knew it would be difficult, painful even, but for the first time in a long time, she felt a spark of excitement, a sense of anticipation for what lay ahead. She imagined the faces of her children, their expressions a mixture of confusion and hurt when she told them she was leaving. The thought of their pain tore at her heart. But Secret knew she couldn't keep sacrificing her own well-being for theirs. They deserved a grandmother who was whole, not a broken shell held together by duty and obligation. And she, after a lifetime of putting others first, deserved to finally put herself first. The day she left was bittersweet. There were tears, of course, but also a sense of relief, a lightness in her step that hadn't been there in years. Secret packed her few belongings, leaving behind the remnants of a life lived for others. She left a note for her children, pouring out her heart, explaining that she wasn't abandoning them, but rather embarking on a journey of healing, a quest to find herself again. She promised to return when she was stronger, more capable of giving them the love and support they deserved. As she drove away, the rising sun painting the sky in hues of pink and orange, Secret felt a weight lift from her shoulders. The road ahead was uncertain, but she faced it with a newfound sense of purpose. For the first time in a long time, she was free. Secret found solace in the solitude of the mountains. She spent her days hiking through ancient forests, breathing in the crisp mountain air, listening to the symphony of birdsong. The natural world, with its unyielding beauty and its indifference to human drama, offered her a sense of peace she'd never known before. She allowed herself to grieve the losses she'd carried for so long, the loss of her innocence, the loss of her dreams, the loss of the life she'd envisioned for herself. And in the process of grieving, she began to heal. Secret's journey of self-discovery wasn't easy. There were moments of doubt, of fear, of loneliness. But through it all, she held on to the belief that she was worthy of happiness, that she deserved to live a life filled with joy and purpose. She returned to her family, a changed woman. The shadows of the past still lingered, but they no longer held her captive. She was stronger now, more resilient, more at peace with herself and the world around her. Secret had found her freedom, not in running away from her problems, but in facing them head-on, in choosing herself, and in discovering the strength that lay dormant within her own heart.